Ah, ah,
Ah,
ah.
ah.
Ah, dang it, you got me.
Oh, it got him. How'd that work? Whoa,
How's it going, Jacob?
I'm good. I'm good. How about you?
Oh, pretty good. I enjoyed the little battle we had.
Yeah, it was it was interesting. I can't believe that shot made it. Like, I don't know what
Hey,
it ricocheted off of, but hey.
I'm not sure either, but I'm stuck here now, so
I'll get you the what is it? The ungluing stuff. I don't know, unwebbing.
yeah. That's good. So what's new in your life?
Not a lot. I'm just working a ton of hours. Like I work every day this next week, so it'll
Yeah,
be fun. But
that's good.
what about you?
Mostly just playing a lot of sports all of a sudden. This last week, I was just able to uh, get it together with enough friends each day to play a different sport, and it was a lot of fun, but it's been exhausting. I'm out of shape. It turns out after you work most of the day and then you go and play a sport, then you go straight to bed and uh, repeat that every day, it kind of wears on you.
Uh, uh, yeah, that's true. So what do you play? Just basketball, or do you?
Well, Monday or not Monday, Sunday I played pickleball. Monday I played basketball. Tuesday I golfed. Wednesday I played volleyball. Thursday I had the day off, but then Friday I was playing a game called Gator Ball. So
Baseball.
yeah, it's a mix between like soccer and handball and lacrosse. So it was a lot of fun.
You'll have to teach me that after the video.
Yeah, it's a good one. But
Okay.
yeah, so it's been a lot of fun, but man, kind of wears on you.
No, I feel ya. I just work all day. That's all I do, and I'm tired when I get home. I can't imagine you.
But at least I think I just enjoy it because I'm at least able to do something. So,
With people, right?
yep, that's the good thing. It's always nice to have people around.
So nice that like the world's finally opening up and things like that. Oh,
Yeah. Is things pretty almost back to normal over there with you?
almost. A lot of the parks are still closed, but there's more people that are outside, which is a little bit nice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they almost have, I'd say almost everything is back open now. I mean, there's some things like movie theaters that still aren't, but you can go into almost any shop and almost any restaurant and just about anything else that you need, you can go. So it makes
not
it
bad.
nice.
Not bad, not bad.
Yep. But I guess with that though, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, but I'm also glad that we're able to get together for one of these videos.
It's been
It's
a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, and I feel like we got a good one today. Today's, I know we switched it up for everybody who doesn't know. We decided that instead of reading an article, we were going to watch a TED Talk instead, because we're struggling to find a good article we wanted to cover on anxiety. So we covered the TED Talk "How to Cope with Anxiety" by Olivia Remes. I don't know how to say her last name.
I don't know either.
But either way, it was a really good TED Talk.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It was fabulous. It helped me in my life to understand why I do some of the things that I do. And I don't feel like I have anxiety, that I suffer with it, but it's like, wow, that was good. I can apply that to my life and make it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I guess to kind of like kick start us off, um, she talked about three different things, right? Um, I'm just going to talk about one of them for now. And the thing that she talks about is doing when you're going to do something, don't worry about doing it perfectly, right? She even said, do it badly for the first time. And I thought that's kind of amazing because there's a lot of times in even my life where I wait for the perfect moment to do something, but that perfect moment never comes. So I never do it, right? And
yeah,
then, like, if I were to just do it badly, at least him doing something, you know. And so
Hmm.
I guess an example that I have for that right now is my job. It's not bad, but it's not the best. But I at least acted on it, you know. And so I at least have a job, and I can now make the corrections to hopefully get a better job for later in the future. But I at least acted upon it. Yeah, it kind of sucks from here to there, but I at least have a job and I can continue forward in life and things like that. So I definitely like her advice that she says to just do it badly for the first time and then move forward.
Yeah, I thought it was really good too. And I liked how she gave the example even in her TED talk about her friend who struggles with anxiety. Um, be, because I know just even as a human being that doesn't struggle with anxiety all the time, it can be hard to make decisions, but also having lived around people that struggle with it a lot, decisions are a hard thing to make. You start to worry about all the different things that go wrong. And she said that her friend that struggled with anxiety, it took her a while to get this down. But once she got it down, she said it was so much more freeing and liberating. And I would definitely say that's true. I mean, I look at my life as well, just like you. And there's times when I'm a lot more nervous about making the decisions. And then there's other times where it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I just need to do something. And once I go and just do something and I just start doing it, like, yeah, it's still a little bit nerve wracking at first, but pretty soon I'm realizing, okay, I'm not dead. I'm all right. It's okay. And then I keep going forward and realize, oh, you know what? I totally messed up here. But that's okay because now I know and I can go back and fix it. And in fact, those, I feel like to me, those have been the times I've learned the most in my life, is because I was willing to make mistakes and willing to fail. And I know a lot of us have heard it, but sometimes you just have to fail because that's when we make a great, or that's when we learn the most. And um, I know it really is scary, especially for those who have severe anxiety. But if you can work on that, just work on, okay, I'm just going to take an action. Even if I fail, I'm just going to do it. And I may do it awfully. You're going to find yourself with a lot more control in your life. And as you do, you'll feel a lot better about yourself.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally agree. You just getting your foot wet, you know, will be able to help you continue forward and push through life. No matter what happens, you can get through it, you know.
Yeah. I also liked what she followed up with on that first point that she discussed. The second point that she discussed was forgive yourself,
Mhm.
because you're going to make mistakes. And I know people with anxiety and depression both oftentimes you'll look at times in your lives when you just feel like, oh, I'm an awful human being. I did a horrible thing, and you beat yourself up over it. I know I've been there a little bit, and it's not a fun place to be, but you just got to forgive yourself and be like, hey, I'm human. It's okay. I made the best decision or did the best thing I knew how to at the time. And now I know better and I can move forward. And it's totally okay.
Right. I feel like that leads to like no matter how far you go, you can always forgive yourself. You can always turn yourself around, you know.
Yeah.
I look at some of the people at work and they tell me all these stories like when they were a child, they made really or not a child, but like a young adult, I should say. They made a lot of bad decisions, you know. They would go out drinking, they would go out partying, things like that. Not that any of that is bad, but an excessive use of all that is bad, you know, and because of their excessiveness, they would destroy their lives. And so they had to forgive themselves and try to turn themselves around. And one of my coworkers is doing that right now, and it's mind-boggling to me to see him try to change his life to better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have an uncle who I think is one of the best human beings on this earth. But when he was younger, he got heavily involved in alcohol and drugs. And as a result, one point in his life, ended up in this really bad accident and caused a whole lot of issues with his family. And eventually, his wife divorced him. He didn't see his kids for a long time. And he was in an awful spot. There was a lot of bad things that were happening. But finally something clicked and he said, hey, I'm not going to keep doing this. It's time to turn my life around. And yeah, he slipped up and he failed a few other times on his way of cleaning his life up. But now he's at a point where he's remarried. He sees his kids again. And it's just really cool. He's one of the kindest, nicest human beings. But if he hadn't forgiven himself, there's no way he would have made it to where he made it today. And I think if somebody like that, where you literally you destroy your family, if you can forgive yourself for doing something like that, or if somebody can do that, then I think any of us can forgive ourselves for any mistakes we made, no matter how awful they may be, or maybe even how small they may be.
Right. No, I agree. And I feel along with that, those of us those that don't struggle with a lot of these problems, we shouldn't judge, right?
Yeah,
Because we don't know what the other person is going through. We should be the person to care for them, to help them, because we're all going to make bad choices. We're all going to do something wrong in our life, and we shouldn't judge based upon that one wrong decision. We should be more helpful, especially because we don't know like what people are going through, you know. And most people, they do want to do better. They do want to have a happy life. They just sometimes don't know how to do it.
yeah. Which I think that part leads in perfectly to the third point she makes, where you have to find the importance or your meaning in life. And I know sometimes some people can get talking about that so much that it's just like, okay, you're just kind of going with the breeze there. It's a little, you're a little going a little crazy, but I think we all truly do have some kind of meaning in life. I feel like every human being has potential to uh, be some kind of leader, whether it's you become a father or a mother, or maybe you're a leader in your work, or maybe it's some service organization that you get involved in, or I mean, there's endless possibilities, but I think we all have some kind of purpose we can serve. And if we can find it, I think that helps us push forward and make decisions when we need to, when we get really anxious and worried and nervous about what's going on in life.
Right. No, I agree. And I like the example that Olivia Remes gives because she talks about do something for the next generation. You know, even though they may not recognize what you've done for them, at the end of the day, it'll make you feel better because you did something for somebody else. You know, so do something and don't expect something back from it. You know, because it's fulfilling your purpose to help other people, and it's a purpose. You know, we all desire to have a purpose,
Yeah.
have some type of purpose, no matter what it be.
Yeah. I that just it just kind of spurred the thought of people in wars, especially in like the big wars like World War One, World War Two, or any of those other larger wars in history. Um, I'm sure if you asked most of them, I bet most of those people were never fighting for themselves. In fact, I bet a lot of them would have just said, you know what, it got so bad at one point that I would have just died if I was just fighting for myself. A lot of them were fighting for their friends and their family and future generations. And it gave them the purpose to push through a very awful situation. I've never been in war, but I can imagine it is scary and horrifying and something I just hope I never have to be part of. But um, if things like that can motivate them in a situation there, I think remembering the future generation can help motivate us in our daily tasks and the things that we do today.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point that you bring up there. That makes me very grateful for, you know, those in the past and for what they've done for our country and for us individually, you know. We don't know what they've gone through. We can we can imagine, you know, we
Yeah,
could read their story, but unless we experience it for ourselves, we have probably not even the slightest clue.
No,
So I guess that's another a good thing to be grateful for, you know.
definitely. I'm very grateful for those who fought and have allowed us to be in a free country and in a position that we're in today.
Yeah.
But I guess with that, we'll kind of wrap up this segment. I mean, I feel like there's tons more stuff I could definitely talk about, but um, I also don't want to take this on forever. But for those of you at home who haven't watched the TED Talk, once again, its title is How to Cope with Anxiety, and you can just find it on YouTube. It's definitely worth watching. It's a really, really good TED Talk. And there's other suggested ones with it involving anxiety if you want to learn more or look into more of it. And but yeah, I think it's definitely worth checking out. But with that, today I found some really good news that I felt was really cool to talk about. Um, and that good news is in regards to a pastor. Well, I guess I should cite my sources first. I found this on MSN.com and was looking through. They put together an article on 50 good things that happened in the U.S. or across the world during quarantine. And there's a lot of good ones, but there's definitely not time to go through all 50 of them. So the one I wanted to talk about was a pastor at a Franklin church who delivered Easter baskets to children with special needs, and to make up for the annual egg hunt that had been canceled. And it kind of seems like a small thing, but to me, I thought it was really cool because one, it shows a pastor or some church leader taking his duties up a notch, taking it to the next level. Like that's definitely not required of any pastor to go and deliver egg baskets, but he realized that he could cheer up those who definitely were looking forward to it, and I find it really neat. I also find it really cool because I know I have a brother who we're not 100% sure. We haven't had him tested recently, but we think he might be on the low end of the autism scale. And there are things that he gets his mind set on, and it's hard to get him separated from that. And for example, if it was Easter, if he got his head set on Easter that we're going to do it, we're going to have an Easter egg hunt, and you cancel it, that just destroys his world. And he's just feels really bad and is in a bad mood for not just that day, but oftentimes for like weeks and sometimes even a month. He'll just continue to complain and be like, we didn't get to go Easter egg hunting. We didn't get to go Easter egg hunting. Um, but when somebody takes takes the effort to show that kind of kindness and love, especially somebody like that whose brain just focuses on uh, a certain detail, that really relieves a lot of pressure, not just for them, but for their family. Because I'm sure now those families are very grateful that their kids aren't just continually pestering them, being like, hey, we didn't get to go Easter egg hunting, even though it's like a reasonable situation, like quarantine's quarantine. We can't do anything about that. But for them, they just sometimes don't understand that.
Yeah. No, that's really cool to I like your experience with your brother as well. That kind of relates a lot to how good we can do with even just a small and simple thing. You know, even in such a crisis. Well, maybe not a crisis like this, but a pandemic.
Yeah.
Um, we can do something small and simple. You know, we can easily help somebody out just to make their day better. You know.
Yep. Yeah. There's always ways we can find to go above and beyond what we do. And I feel like when we find those ways, that's what makes us a better person. That's what makes us an individual people remember. And that's what great memories are made of.
And it gives us a purpose as well.
That's right. It does. I didn't even think about that, but that's true. Well, it's been good talking with you, Jacob.
Yeah.
So like we got had a killer video to talk about, and it was even good to have some good news we could share. So
You know what? These just keep getting better and better. I feel.
yeah, but
Got great topics and great people that are doing great things. So
that's right. I'm glad to see that you're still alive as well. So
yep. Chucking along, right?
yeah. Well, it's good talking with you, and you have a good day.
Yep, you too. Enjoy.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.